Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review for Toaru Majutsu no Index 3, Episode 3. So, I guess let's talk about this one. It was another good episode of one of my favorite series ever, but there's probably not too much to discuss. It was mostly just moving along the various storylines we have going on and finishing up this Avignon stuff, as it would seem, before we move back to Academy City for the next part of the story. And in addition to that, I think the biggest thing to talk about is maybe how there are some things that haven't really been important to the series, like since the beginning really, that are finally getting brought up now, which feels very weird, because it's been a long time since this stuff was brought up, but especially because of the long gap between seasons. But it would be even odd if it was just 1 year after the next season after season. Weird that things were brought up at the beginning, nothing said about them, and now they're brought up again. So it's some real long-term storytelling going on here. But either way, to start with the beginning of the episode, we see more of Terra's ability in fighting and combat against Itsuwa and Touma. So I love that basically what the power does, what they say it does, is it makes strength and weakness irrelevant. He can make whatever have precedence over whatever. And we learn that the weapon he's using is a blade made of flour, which is really cool because it can't hurt them if it isn't meant, if he doesn't lower their precedence and higher the precedence of the flour. Because if he hires the precedence of the flour to go through walls or to go through the floor or something, then it can go through that, but when it hits them, it's just normal flour. And of course, that ends up being the downfall of it later on, but I'll get to that when I get to it. So after they fight for a bit, robots start their counterattack from Academy City within the city. So Terra runs off to go collect the document of Constantine, since he assumes that's obviously what's going to be targeted, the mage or what? I guess they just call them magicians, but whatever that's actually using the document, they need to get to them. So Touma calls in to Misaka to see what's going on, to see why Academy City is sending in these robots. And Misaka is watching the news and said, oh yeah, they just said that there was some sort of weapon in that city and that they had to send troops in to go help the situation or whatever. So we see, from her point of view, the lies that are being fed so that Touma can get information on what's actually going on. Tsuchimikado, though, disposes of the autonomous soldiers by tricking the autonomous programming and feeding them a bunch of conflicting information, but just as he does that, he sees a bunch of stealth bombers up in the sky, and Alistair has sent in Accelerator. So there was some stuff with that was a little bit confusing. I don't know, it seemed like there wasn't much point in it. They quarantine off the area, they send Accelerator in, but I don't get the flames later on. I guess I'll get to that when I get to it. So we have the Touma and Itsuwa fight against Terra in the cathedral or whatever, and it's really, really good. I like that fight. But the amnesia that Touma has is being brought up here, again, for the first time since the beginning. That's not been very important. And now it seems it is, because from what Terra says, Touma should know that he should know about the Imagine Breaker. And again, that's another thing. The Imagine Breaker, what it actually is, hasn't really been explored that much in the series, and now we're actually getting exploration of what it actually is. So Touma learns how to win. He learns how to overwhelm Terra with attacks. Because if Terra's saying, my body has higher precedence over a spear or something, then at the same time it's not going to have higher precedence over a fist. So because of that, he learns the weakness in his defense and the weakness in his offense when he goes for that final blow with the blade of flour. Touma kicks up the shotgun because he's like, you made it so it could cut through my body, but not the shotgun. Once it hits the shotgun, it's just regular flour. So he uses that to protect himself and then overwhelms him with attacks. Then he goes to pick up the document, and it looks like it's destroyed, but I'm not sure if it actually is, because then flames burst in, Terra seemingly gets incinerated, and I thought this was Fiamma coming in. I thought this was going to be his introduction to the story, but apparently not. Accelerator was in the flames, Touma gets knocked out as Itsuwa wakes up, and then later on, nope, we see that Terra's fine, because I was like, oh, Terra's dead then. And then no, he's back, he's fine, he's with Aqua. And I don't remember exactly what he said. I'm not sure if he actually brought the document with him, so maybe it wasn't destroyed. But either way, they discussed the Russian church allying with them, and then Aqua just completely kills him, just kills him in front of the Pope. So Terra is dead now. Aqua is still cool. This is the second time we've seen him in the series, I believe. I think this is the first time they mentioned that he has the power of a saint. So yeah, Aqua is just a really, really cool character. Then at the very end, we get the teasing that now Mikasa knows about the amnesia, which probably answers a lot of questions for her, because a lot of her character motivation, other than being tsundere for Touma, a lot of her character was based around her trying to figure out why he didn't remember her, kind of. So this is going to be a step forward for her character, too. So, yeah, episode as a whole, there were some things that were a bit unclear. Like the flames and accelerator. I didn't really totally get all of that. But I thought it was all good. I really loved the fights that they did, and I've said before that I love how we have all these different storylines going on at once. That's all really good. And the precedence, I don't remember, the actual power was like Light's execution or Light's protection or something like that, or Light's judgment, I don't remember. But the precedence power that Terra has is one of the coolest powers I've seen in anime. I really, really like the concept behind it. And it's a shame that he's dead now, so we're not going to get to explore what can be done with that power more, but it's a really cool power. And if he has the cool precedence power, Vento had the power that allowed her to pretty much knock out anyone that had any ill will towards her. I'm excited to see what those corresponding powers for Fiamma and Aqua will be. So, yeah, I guess that's it. As a score, I would give it... I kind of struggled with what to give it, because I was like, there were some things that weren't amazing, but there was some really good development as far as the full series goes, and the fights were really fun to watch. There was no point in the episode where I was bored at all. So I'm going to give it 8.75. Wars starting out of 10, because it seems from here, from the promo of next episode, we're going to be going into Academy City stuff. We know that Aqua is now going to use Russia as a thoroughfare to go and attack Japan. So if that's the case, it seems like we're going to have a big war between Academy City and the alliance between the Russian and Catholic churches. And Aqua is going to be at the forefront of that, and he fights Kanzaki in the opening, so I'm assuming that Kanzaki is going to be a big part of the magic side of things on the, I guess, just the good guy side. Not really the Academy City side, but the good guy side, the Touma side, because there's not really a clear good and bad side between the Roman Catholic Church and the magic side of things, and between Academy City and the science side of things. There are good people within each of them, but as far as the leaders, as far as the warring goes, both the right seed of God, who are trying to become gods themselves, and and Alistair and his mysterious council, both of them are bad. So it will be really, really cool to see where it goes in the future with all of that. And a bunch of stories going on, and there were a ton of different characters. It seems like we're going to be jumping around a lot next episode, because there were a ton of different characters in the promo. And since, I guess Touma's probably going to be coming back from Avignon at this point, so if that's the case, then I don't know what's up with... I still don't know who that one group is in the opening, so there's still more exciting stuff that I don't even know about happening yet. Yeah, and I didn't bring it up. We saw Styles Group once again, but the only thing we saw from them was Lidvia mentioning that that's the end goal of the right seed of God, is that they want to surpass God and become gods themselves, basically. They said it in a more roundabout way than that, but to simplify it, that's basically it. So yeah, either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry I'm trying to be a little bit on the quieter side right now. But that shouldn't be for much longer. But either way, so if you like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this week's episode, what you thought of my thoughts on it and all that. Subscribe for more. Toaru Majutsu no Index, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I'll try to keep you updated there and stuff for the channel, or talk to you there. And if you want a link to our Discord server if you want a link to the Discord server to talk to me or more of us there, then just ask and I'll give you a link. It's free and open for anyone. That's it. Thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.